2, 1. We've got RIP Takeoff. We've got RIP Takeoff. Welcome to another edition of the Self Luv Show. Today's topic is how violence in Iraq mirrors or equates to Gaza and vice versa. We're a solution-based podcast, long form, so we're going to go ahead and unpack some potential solutions as well. Dig in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Chi-Town, you can cue the giant. Cue the Johns on your ready. That's right. Big ups to production.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master, in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Luv Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
And even in this instance, if I could be of service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Buddy. Self-love, vision. That is much better. Go ahead and kill it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all. We're back in the building. The Self Love Show, of course. Y'all know who we are.
We represent.
Welcome to the Self Love Show on This Ain't That Network, or as we say, TATN. This co-host, 9 Millie. All praise to the ancestors, the Most High, and my beloved Mama Sky. Big ups. Today we're going to be unpacking how Chicago's gang violence mirrors the Gaza war. You might think these two situations have absolutely nothing in common, but as we shall see, they share some similarities and also contrasts. Today's podcast, we're going to explore the similarities and differences in more depth. We'll also discuss the possible solutions and challenges to end the violence in both places. So sit back, relax, enjoy another entertaining episode of the Self Love Show. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live and live in color. Today's Tuesday. Happy Halloween, October 31st, 2023. It's about 6:09. That's 08, but 9 in the Shy. And as always, you cats can be anywhere in this magnanimous universe, but thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here. Together. What down, Chi-Town? What down, brother Word Smith? What you manifested today?
Love, man. You know me. I'm manifesting love. What about you?
Ditto, good brother. Pure, unfiltered, magnanimous, unfettered. Some say tough. Others have said harsh. But love just the same.
No doubt, no doubt.
What's been going on in your neck of America since we last did the show?
Couple things. We laid, well, we had the memorial for Brother Hall. Great celebratory situation. A lot of notes, a lot of family and friends.
Yeah, I saw a lot of brothers there.
Yes, it was. And I was in the lab cooking. In the lab cooking.
Yeah, I know you cooking up that dope, and we're talking about music for any law enforcement out there.
Yeah, for y'all think it's something else.
MEP, some sort of C-rack, you know. But that's what's up. All right, man. So give you guys a quick breakdown what to expect today on today's show. We always have a quote of the day, and then our more growth and development platform video. And then, of course, we unpack or react to a video where we watch our government. Normally, it's law enforcement interacting with the citizens, and we ask you to tell us if what you saw was tyranny, you know, or if you flat out appreciated what you saw. Okay. And then, of course, we have our dome teaser, because your mind is awful if you waste it. That's an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So we'll give you a riddle, and then if self-love doesn't solve it, or if the chat isn't classy enough to solve it, they're not matriculating and processing as per normal, I'll have the pleasure of giving you guys the key, but you got to stick around to the end of the show if you're not going to think, or if you don't think. All right. And then, of course, our topic today is how violence in Iraq mirrors Gaza. Phone lines are open. That's 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free.
Once again, 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Absolutely, positively troll free.
Trolls get what?
Holes around here, homie.
We'll make you what?
Famous.
I'll be your Huckleberry. So let's go viral. All right. And, our topic, how violence in Iraq mirrors Gaza, as I mentioned. And of course, we wrap it up with my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. And that's where this brother summarizes the entire show off the rip, top of the dome, with a genius bit of prose. Genius.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good brother. So, rest up, Reynard, brother Reynard Hall, Chapter Invisible. Condolences to your family. Happy Halloween out there to all you pagans, huh? The pagans out there celebrating with their little pagan kids up. Is it a pagan holiday? I don't know. We don't. It's Halloween.
It's All Saints Day is tomorrow, and this is supposed to scare the demons, but really just gives the demons a chance to get out and get amongst the people. You might think somebody's wearing a costume. They may or may not.
Right. If I was a demon, I'd be wearing a normal looking human's costume that day. You know what I mean? Get away from me. I don't participate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny.
Passing out apples with shards of razor blades to the kids. That's what those demons do. And those people weren't melanated either.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
No, they were the last layovers in the community usually. Feed glass to these kids. All right, big ups. And you guys, have fun out there if you are a pagan and you, celebrate such pagan holidays. I'm not going to judge you. Subscribe, you guys. The channel's growing. We're at over 1,400 subs. Got a video that's, I think, over 150,000 views. So, that one will keep going viral out there.
Big ups to the subscribers.
Yeah, big ups to the subs. Check out the Self Luv Show and Mouthpiece included, huh, Self?
Get at it, y'all. Let's keep it up. Let's keep going with these subscribers. Y'all, before we know it, we might even get a little change off of this thing.
Yeah, right? Yeah. All right, so enough of my yapping. I'll turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business.
Welcome. Y'all, as you know, this is the Self Luv Show. Today, we're unpacking how violence in Chicago mirrors Gaza. The solution, phone lines are open and toll free. As always, we have a very important video that we want you to watch. Silverback More Growth and Development Platform, which we are building the Self Love Nation off of. But prior to that, we always have the Self Luv Show quote of the day. What a vast difference there is between the barbarism that precedes culture and the barbarism that follows it. Once again, what a vast difference there is between the barbarism that precedes culture and the barbarism that follows it. Frederick Hebel. And we'll be got a very important video. Check it out. Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number one, repair our nation, via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists.
Connect the breadwinner.
3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
We're closing the gap. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up. Mac that thumbs up out there. And number 10 to the platform is protect the women, the children, and ourselves by any means necessary.
Yes, sir.
Any means.
Yes, sir.
In case you missed it, more growth. Last week we covered the curious sounds of revelations. Unpack that, huh?
Man, it was chock full of information. And my greatest advice to you is go back, check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, and big ups to and a yo to Santos de la Rosa.
Yes, sir.
One of the
And KS Kick It TV.
Yeah, one of the noops, Victor Marshall, out here on the left coast. He's having his birthday bash Saturday, so I'll be there. I gotta make sure I stretch so I can shimmy.
What?
You know what I mean? Get loose enough so I can shimmy. I don't want to pull a muscle out there in public.
Yeah.
Shimmy, go pups.
No shimmy.
Go pups. You're a dinosaur out there. That's what I'm always told.
Hey. Yeah. Dinosaurs are okay. They're still out around.
Yeah, they're animals and they were intelligent, according to science. Yeah, but if y'all didn't check out last week's show, definitely check out last week's show. We went there.
Absolutely.
All right. Self, did you see I know you stay pretty unplugged. Leap of faith tyranny. I don't know if we've covered this. I wasn't sure if we covered it.
You're so creative with these titles. I'm not sure. I pretty much am unplugged, so we'll see.
Well, big ups to Inside Edition, as it is.
A suspect jumped off a rooftop, shocking Los Angeles police.
He's jumping! He's on the roof!
Authorities say they were in pursuit of 4 home invasion robbery suspects.
The suspect entered the location entitled the tenant and stole the vehicle keys to a Toyota Camry 2005.
The first 2 suspects were taken into custody soon after the 911 calls, leaving police to search for 2 more. A police air unit spotted one suspect walking on the roof of the apartment building. Authorities say the man
jumped off the roof of the apartment building,
movie was he
landed
watching?
on the roof of an adjacent single-story residence,
that turned out
and
okay.
fell onto a cement walkway between the 2 buildings.
Is she a misgender?
He's jumping!
Officers opened fire when police say the suspect reached for his waistband.
Don't do it, man! Don't do it! Put it down!
The suspect was shot and taken for medical treatment. Authorities have determined the man had a hammer and was not carrying a gun. The 4 suspects were taken into custody, but none as dramatically as this person.
Hey, he's jumping! Hey, he's on the roof! Hey, let me see your hands! Let me see your hands right now!
This is Inside Edition Digital.
Oh my God.
No, is it me or did somebody bust at him while he was in the air? Did I hear gunshots?
Yeah, I don't think it was while he was in the air. I mean, he said he reached for his waistline after he hit the ground. He might have been reaching for his ribs, guy. Shot at him. I mean, this is crazy.
You don't take
Jumped
cover
off a building. It hits the ground.
and you got to be a piece of shit,
To
to take those shots. You got to. That it wasn't even discussing the whole thing. And that whole thing we watched, nobody asked questions.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Somebody asked him a question. And he was like, let me see your hands. Well, I guess that wasn't a question.
No, I mean, none of the newscasters asked these questions we're asking.
Oh,
as
shit.
far as why did he shoot this guy?
Man, because that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's
The trauma after jumping off the building and hitting the ground. I don't think he was incapacitated. I don't think he needed to take a shot at him out there.
Well, maybe the officer feared for his life. I thought he was going to jump on me.
Thought he was going to get up and run away after that. You saw him. You saw that. It was shocking.
I'm going with tyranny.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolute tyranny. Yeah, you take a shot at somebody after they did that.
All right, y'all. Today's topic is how violence in Iraq could mirror Gaza. Phone lines are open, and it's pinned in the chat. Let's go ahead and jump to the next one, Self Love. Now, this one, Pinky scammers.
Pinky?
PPP Pinky scammers. WPIG, fair use.
We are now hearing from Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney after 17 deputies have been arrested and charged with fraud. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live with this developing story. Roy.
Nicole, and we have learned that nearly 100 BSO employees did apply for the PPP loans. And of the 100, 17 of them are now facing federal charges. Well, as you mentioned today, we did get a chance to speak with Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney about these allegations. And he says if his employees were involved in this type of criminal activity, they do not deserve to be working in the law enforcement profession. Did you believe you were receiving these loans legitimately? 17 members of the Broward Sheriff's Office, which include both BSO deputies and detention deputies, released from the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale after being indicted on charges that include wire fraud after federal investigators said they fraudulently applied for and received funds from the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP loans.
Bonds were set. They're being released. Nobody, as far as I know, is being detained. And we'll take it from there. We'll be back in court.
Attorney Brian Silber represents 3 of the defendants, some of whom have either been suspended or placed on leave pending the outcome of the investigation.
I can't comment on the nature of the case.
While the charging documents do not allege that any of the defendants committed the charged offenses in the course of their official duties, this does not in any way diminish the seriousness of what the defendants are alleged to have done here.
Sheriff Gregory Toney said he first learned of the crimes in November of 2021, prompting him to investigate all 5,500 of his employees, including himself and
Looked like
others.
his barber got Alzheimer's.
Of the 17 indicted, 7 BSO deputies and 1 sergeant in law enforcement, and 8 detention deputies and 1 sergeant in corrections.
I hate to see that, knowing some of the individuals and seeing the names on that list that's being indicted. Some of them were good officers, but you're only as good as the last act and conduct that you execute.
We learned the defendants involved received tens of thousands of dollars, and while the investigation has proved that some of whom were investigated did have legitimate businesses, at the very least, the 17 now facing federal charges allegedly did not.
If you're going to be participating in criminal activities, we don't want you in this profession.
And while 17 BSO employees have been indicted, we are told that this investigation does continue and there could be more indictments to come. We'll be sure to stay on top of this. For now, outside of BSO headquarters near Fort Lauderdale, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You know. PP Pookie. PP
Pig.
Yeah. There you go.
Piggy.
Yeah, I like that better.
Piggy.
Piggy. Yes. Thirsty. Thirsty. You know, there you have it, kids. You want to grow up and be a 12? You know,
Man,
there you go.
I knew that those were just bait, and not a one of them was these people.
No. Well, at the very end, they showed one. It was some sort of misgender at the end.
No, I didn't see that one because
yeah.
I was looking to
but
turn
then
it off.
no, it was so quick. Now that you mention it, yep, it was very quick. They showed the misgender one for about 2 seconds.
Yeah,
at the end,
it was a setup.
Yeah, didn't fit the narrative. Yeah, all right. So that's what we got. Today's topic is how violence in the quote rack end quote mirrors Gaza. Phone lines are open. It's pinned in the chat. Let's go ahead and jump to today's dome teaser, bro. The dome teaser. Here we go. How many bricks? Bricks. Can you say
Not
bricks?
sure. Not sure anymore.
All right. How many bricks does it take to complete a building made of brick? I'm going to put it in the chat for all the thinkers and non-thinkers and the ones who are not sure if they're thinking. There we go. I'll pin it in the chat because how do you put it? How many bricks does it take to complete a building made of brick? All right. You got thumbs up out there, Steph?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, he's matriculating and processing like Bayesian. You see Bayesian, the great white hope out there? You know, damn near through 5 picks. I'm not. Yeah, you did. You said it. Boy, the Chicago media, boy, they was eating crow all over the 670 score. Everybody had crow right down their throat. Not that I wish anything bad on the guy. It was just funny. What was funny to me, Self, is how all of them now can see the problems with the team. Like if Justin Fields had played that bad in that game, they wouldn't have been talking about any of the other stuff. They wouldn't have been
just
talking
Justin
about
Fields.
Yes. Yep. And you saw your boy, you mentioned him. What's his name? Collinsworth.
Yeah, Collinsworth. Yeah. Chris Collinsworth.
Spinning that narrative.
Woo-wee. That was disgusting.
Well, he went over the top. So I've been doing my research. Grossi, whatever one of them dudes is on the score, Bear Hater. He's from Indiana, bro. You know, it's a KKK state. We don't know what's in his heart.
Yes, we do.
You know, we're not saying the media or the Triple K would have potentially infiltrated the media and, you know, controlled narratives we're not saying that. In our opinion.
Yeah, well, we're not saying it. Yeah,
no.
We're not saying that. No. But
you know. All right. But yeah. All right, enough of the appetizers there, fellow.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right, there's absolutely no promo, so we're gonna hop right into it today. Today's topic. It's something that, you know, I've never been to Jerusalem or the Middle East, but I've been to the Middle Streets. You know, you walk around the Shire in the 90s, peace in the Middle East. Middle East. Peace on the east side, fella. Huh? How about that?
Middle East is a misnomer anyway. What the hell is that?
Yes, nonsense. Yeah, makes no sense. But we're going to start our little background. Let's provide some context and background information on the gang violence historically in Chicago, and then we'll talk about Gaza as well. Chicago, you know, it's history. We've covered it.
Got a whole show on it.
You had your immigrants.
Check it out.
Yeah, you had your immigrants and everything like that. You know, your Italians, and that's how it all started. You know, your Irish, the immigrants come over here, just kind of sort of like they're claiming the immigrants from south of the border are coming over here. You know, and they'll mob up. Generally, it was for protection and to make money. You know, black gangs kind of spun off from. You know, you had your social clubs. You had your white gangs. You know, they were social clubs, and you know, and then you know, they'd hang out and wear their jackets representing their social club, and they had rumbles. You know, let's talk about it. Knives and bats and some gunshots. There was murder in Chicago before Pookie and Ray Ray got to it. But yeah, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
Oh yeah, it was plenty of murder in the 70s. Most murders in Chicago was in the 70s.
Yes.
Early 70s, it was 970 murders in the city. And that is still the most to this day. And it was not Pookie and Ray Ray as much as it was the syndicate and the mob going at it. Yeah.
Even today,
the gangs,
60% of the murders in Chicago are gang related. Yeah. And I'd lower that to like 50 because a lot of it gets labeled. So there's a lot more killing going on in the city than just Pookie and Ray Ray. We want to make that clear.
The gangs were started a lot to defend against those white social clubs that used to like to ride through the neighborhoods and try to, you know, menace them.
Throw rocks and bottles and call them names.
And to protect against the police. That's what they were started for. I mean, shifted into something else, but
yeah, no. Yeah, and the violence, as we're stating, it's a long-standing problem, and it's claimed thousands of lives and injured, you know, many more in the city over the years. Again, before, you know, the foundational blacks, you know, got you know, got with it. So according to a report by the DEA, Chicago is home to several gangs that are heavily involved in drug distribution, violent crime, and other criminal activities. The primary street gangs that pose the greatest threat in the Chi are the GDs, the BDs, and the Blackstones. Of course, you can't forget your Vice Lords out there and your Latin Kings. These gangs are often engaged in turf wars, retaliation, and rivalry over resources and influence. But to your point, yeah, it devolved into what it is today, because when it started just like when the immigrants got involved. Yeah, protection from the police gang, protection from the other races. I'm saying races, RACES, who happen to be racist. You know, Chicago's very segregated. You know, even when we were coming up, you couldn't get caught in the wrong neighborhood. Could yourself after dark?
Oh, no. Better not. And some places now, you know,
it's risky.
Yeah, very risky.
Yeah.
You better know the lingo.
Yeah.
Be in trouble out there.
So yeah, and the Gaza crisis. Give me a little background of you know, what's going on out there. We're not talking about the crisis, but what's been going on there before the war.
Well, they decided that is going to be Jerusalem.
Who decided?
This group of people that's not from there, NATO or whatever that group was called at that time. I'm not even sure if it was NATO.
It's called It's called the 13 families. But go ahead.
Yeah, they decided that, this Palestine is now going to be changed to Jerusalem, and those people are going to move out, and there's only a isolated area that was going to be carved out as Jerusalem, and the Zionists have been occupying different territories pretty much ever since. They have gone outside the borders of what was stated, and they are occupying land that's supposed to be for the Palestinians.
Yeah, and before we go further, Mark Daniels. Look at Mark Daniels. Yo, Noob. It was for Carnival. Daniels. It was for Carnival. He said it takes one break. Look at him. He's a math major.
Yeah.
And he's correct. You know, I got that self. Is you matriculating?
Yeah, I that's what came to me, but lately I haven't been trusting it.
Well, there's no penalties for a wrong answer. You know what I mean?
Then we get to talking. And then it's I'm usually get it right away, and then it's out the way, and I don't have to worry about it anymore.
He said Tyson Bilbo Bajan, had some upside, but he had a lot of down. But the two brothers running the team had the same face, the face that they are moving on again. They've made some bad picks. Velas Jones, Claypool, Nathan Peterman. Well, we picked up Sweat, Self.
Yeah, that should be nice.
That's gonna be real nice. You know, you can't
they picked Velas Jones. They traded for Claypool and Peterman. Oh yeah, Peterman.
I don't think nobody drafted him. Yeah,
no, he's god awful.
We didn't spend any capital on Peterman. I can guarantee you that. He's making $17.86 an hour clipboard, parking the cars and everything like that. But
basis.
Yeah. So my understanding, it's in Gaza, it's a humanitarian and political emergency that's been ongoing for decades. Okay. It escalated recently, as we all know, when Hamas? Or is it Hummus? Hamas?
Hamas?
You could order Hamas. You have some, what kind of Hamas?
I don't know if you want to order Hamas.
I go over in Hyde Park, sit down at a deli. What kind of Hamas you got? Can you put some Hamas on there?
That might get you in trouble out there.
It spit right on it. I'll give you some Hamas.
Some hocking.
Yeah. But Hamas launched a daily attack on Israel, allegedly killing 1,200 people and allegedly taking up to 150 hostages. Israel responded in kind with a massive military campaign that include airstrikes, ground operations, and a blockade of Gaza. According to the UN that Self Luv just talked about, the 13 families. The crisis has resulted in more than 2,000 deaths, mostly civilians, and over 10,000 injuries. It also caused widespread destruction of infrastructure, displacement of people, and shortages of food, water, electricity, and medical supplies. So we're not going to get into any comparisons here in this first half of the show or any contrasting, but I'm sure you can hear it. You know, you can feel it simmering. But what is hummus? What is hummus, so?
Hamas is a group that is attacking, for lack of a better term, or reacting to conditions that have been placed upon Palestinian people. They
Wait a minute. If I was on the national news and you started like that, I need you. Listen, I'm gonna cut you off. I wish I had my suit on. I need you to discount hummus. We're gonna say hummus for the sake of the algorithm. I need you to discount hummus. I need you to call them a T group, and you know what type of group I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. He cut you off and don't let you talk from there like I just did. What are you saying? What are you saying? They're a humanitarian group for the people? Kind of
Yeah,
like
well,
Stones, and no, we're
well,
not making comparisons. No, that was on me. But no, go ahead. Go ahead. You were giving your. I cut you off. I'm not going to be national media.
you know, I don't know what is because of the media. They label people who don't go with the narrative a
Yes.
certain way. So
Yes.
this ain't
Those in
that.
charge call
This
the
ain't
other
that
ones
network.
terrorists. Yeah,
Right.
this ain't that.
So
Yes,
we're not
but
going with the narrative per se.
No, but you're right to that point. Those in charge, and I mean the powers that be, can label anybody any way they want to label them. And then, well, we're not going to say the media just reads off a script.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, we will. We can show you.
Yeah, we can show you.
All over the country, same script.
Verbatim.
Yes.
But I'm watching Fox, it's more conservative. And I'm watching this and that. It's more it's more progressive.
No.
You're getting the same script, huh, Self?
Same script.
I'm telling you, man, I was watching all those back and forths, and I don't have any. Well, yeah, I do. A few former co-workers from Persia, which used to be just simply Iran. They don't like to say Iran because, you might think they're
part of the narrative.
Yeah, part of the narrative.
They say Iran is the one funding hummus.
Yeah, but I have friends, the original Hebrew people, who I've worked for, and who live over in Israel now. So got family in Israel, the Jewish, no, good people. I'm talking about the ones I interact with. The original people was tongue in cheek, but the Aganaxis. I have, friends, so I understand that this is a very sensitive situation. But yes, your understanding of Hamas is what mine's is. It sounds like they were a result of the heat that was placed on them and their people. You know what I mean? They were born of poverty. Oh, we're not going to talk about similarities and oppression and, death, and seeing loved ones killed and murdered. Yeah, Wakil said facts, same script. Sharuka is in the building. We may have to change our schedule because ever since we went to the Tuesday schedule, we don't get Sharuka in the building. So if we're going to consider
all the time.
Yeah, we're going to consider changing our schedule. But yeah, Mark Daniels, big ups. Wakil L, yep, same scripts. Yes, sir. Yep. All right. But so to your point, Self, what was the original purpose for Chicago gangs, which you mentioned?
Protection and, getting together for protection and for resources.
Resources, yeah.
Yeah.
Protecting their community, their land,
Yeah, from police as well as other clubs.
Social clubs.
Social clubs. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
And any other Gestapo.
Street social clubs. So
yes, it was more. Yeah, it was more though. You had the guys, which kind of what it's become now, except. Right. But you had the guys. Y'all had y'all jackets, and y'all hung out at the pool hall or whatever. And if something happened, it happened. If it went down, this was y'all neighborhood. And then it kind of evolved into freedom fighters, which you know what I mean. And then neighborhood protection, protecting it from other Pookies or Ray Rays or, again, Gestapo, and again, the pink people from the other communities. So that was the purpose. There was the mentorship in a way going on too, Self.
Yeah.
There was the same thing. Well, yeah. You know what I mean?
Hierarchy and everything stayed in order.
Somebody had to teach those shorties, man. If Mrs. So-and-so had 15 kids, you know what I mean, Self, and the father's not around, maybe he's dead, or maybe she died, and somebody had to teach those kids, man.
Facts. And father didn't have to die. It was, it was around those times when it was coming through. It was the welfare system had the men couldn't be in the house.
I say, unfair system.
Yeah, it was at the same time they doing that to us. They're allowing
the farmers to lay up.
Yes.
Laying up.
Well, at least the white tea farmers, not the melanated farmers that they took the land.
Yeah. Took the land. Boy, I see a lot of this. You said something about taking the land over there in the Middle East. You said that earlier.
Yeah.
We're getting to some similarities, and we'd love to, hear from the chat. You guys probably know where we're going with this. If you don't want to, if you don't have the balls, or you don't want to risk your professional acumen by typing stuff in there, get you a Pookie name. Create a Pookie account. Come back in and type what you want out there, right, Self? We're not asking anybody to lose their job.
Not at all. You need to keep your income rolling out there.
Boy, if you don't think I got me a Ray YouTube account, boy, and the racists think I'm pink, and the homies think I'm a racist. It's my Pookie account.
Yes, sir. Right now, I know about not getting paid. Y'all know how the game go. It's the Self Love Show, and it is halftime. We have some great videos for you to check out. Man, they're informative, gonna teach you a lot, and we will be right back at you in a few minutes.
We over east, man. We chilling, me and my homie. And so he was on the phone. So this how they call us sleeping, because he was on the phone. I'm coming out the liquor store. I go to the car. He's still hollering at his homeboy at the phone. He come from the payphone to hop in the car. And while he hopping in the car, I'm thinking he just, finna finish hollering at his homie. He said, man, Twitch just gonna get him what he want. I'm like, what do you mean just get him what he want? I look. Man, I'm talking about, he probably had a 4.5 or whatever. The motherfucking barrel looked like the size of a peanut butter jar hole that day, goddamn it. I was like, God damn. So my instincts, I got a little jewelry on, so I snatched my arm back a little bit, and he noticed I had, man, what you doing? And it looked like he was finna bang. Then that's when my guy was like, Twist, just gonna get to him. Then he heard him say, what, Twist? Then he realized it was me, and the same dude that was finna give me, he ended up telling me his rap name, broke it down to the knee, let my homie get in the car, sat there and spit a verse for me and everything, and let me go. Wow, that's what you call respect right there.
Right.
Brother,
I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it. I'm gonna say, hey.
Tori's oldest brother, between us. Tori made me at Beta, and so he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
Okay. Yeah, Brother Thomas, thank you so much for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing, and we would like to present you with the Self Love Show first annual Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award.
Oh man,
it's apropos that you are the first recipient.
And nope, we call it the Raj.
We're gonna call it the Raj.
Oh, I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, so we have it on order. So it's gonna come here. We're gonna show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, my beloved black brothers and sisters, I appeal to you this afternoon to reason. Look at Huey Newton and Eldridge Cleaver. Many of you love the Panther philosophy. You love to see a young black brother stand up and challenge the system. They were beautiful brothers.
Drop dead gorgeous.
Men who wanted liberation for black people. But Whitey there again infiltrated the Panther movement. And while many of the brothers and sisters were saying, right on, baby, Right on. In the crowd was an agent of the United States government planning the destruction of the Panther Party. You live to see him put Huey and Eldridge against one another, bust the movement down the middle, and then break it up. And now they can talk about the Panther Party because they've destroyed it.
When I was growing up, I was taught in American history books that Africa had no history, and neither did I. That I was a savage, about whom the less said the better, who had been saved by Europe and brought to America. And of course, I believed it.
And there's not going to be no killing without killing, gentlemen. With all due respect, definitely not going to be any killing without killing, you know. And I would like that to be clear for the record. I understand the fact that we got police in here. I wanted you to be here to understand what I said.
The world agrees. What you see is much bigger, cleaner, whiter, richer, safer than where you are.
And it bows to his will. Nothing is as rebellious as the white man. Everything that God says thou shalt not do, the white man says, gee whiz, buddy, it's all right. Come on, try it. You like it, baby. It's okay. Gee whiz, you guys are too rigid. You only live once, man. Come on. You know that Chuck talks like that. I'm talking about Bob. I'm talking about Bill. I'm talking about Larry. You know the guys I'm talking about. No sense in you acting like you don't know them. That's why we don't allow no white folks in here. Because if we had white folks in here, you'd be looking all behind you and wondering what Bob and Bill and Larry and Susie and Cindy might be thinking.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the black community, for real.
Yeah.
Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro.
They're so ignorant,
ignorant.
Ignorant. So
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end.
Yes, sir. It's what we represent. It's the Self Love Show. I don't know how it goes. Self Love Show. Today, we are unpacking how violence in Chicago mirrors Gaza. Want some solutions? Because we're a solutionist podcast. And, you know, talked about some of the history of the whole situation, about how Thomas got started, and the gangs in Chicago got started. And today we're going to make some comparisons.
We do it for our people.
Three wordsmith, 9 meals.
All right, y'all.
We go.
Self Love Show. Sir. All right, let's get back at it. Self Love told you where we at, where we going, and where we been. So please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and share that link. So we're gonna do some comparison and contrast. One thing I want to throw out there is the first international group to be labeled the T word, what they call hummus and all those other ones, what we may call 12 was the Stones, after they allegedly was doing something with Gaddafi with the surface to air missile,
missiles, the
to
rockets,
shoot
whatever
down a
like that.
commercial plane. Yeah. But let's analyze how gang violence in the Chi may mirror the Gaza crisis. What do you got? What do you got on this?
It's a battle for land, territory, and resources. It's murder of men, women, and children, almost with impunity, at least at this time when the police only solve less than 20% of murder cases in Chicago. So it's kind of like a war zone, some places.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm against the whole Chirac term and model. I understand it to a certain degree, but it was a misnomer and false in its approach.
Direct.
Yeah. Because if it's
Depends on
more killings in Chicago than it was Iraq, they were only counting the Americans. They weren't counting all of the people being killed in Iraq.
Yeah. So there's more killings in Iraq than Chicago.
It's by far. It was war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd say too the generational nature of it all. I mean, we have third generation gang members.
Facts.
Neighborhoods
probably more than that at this point.
Yes. Neighborhoods do flip. But I mean, like they call it the trenches. A lot of digging in them trenches, bro.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't have the resources to move. So their families stay in those trenches.
In the worst communities, as far as violent crime, the ones labeled red by the Gestapo, it's literally considered a war zone. That's how many of those 12 consider those communities. So they treat it as such. The police have been militarized. I mean, this is a touchy subject, but it does create, for someone who's not a member or they're not 12, just going about their day, and they have to be harassed by the Gestapo, if not worse. You know what I mean? Or harassed by this gang or that gang. Where you from? Where you at? Lots of innocent people dying on both sides. In Chicago and Middle East. Unsolved deaths, something you brought up. It's got to be, and that's what the Palestinians are talking about. That I mean, Israel's even said it. For every one of them, we'll kill 100. One of us will kill 100. Stuff like that, bro.
Oh yeah, and I mean they espouse that they are the chosen people, and they can do that. And these infidels, they want to wipe them from the planet. That's what I've heard the Zionists say.
But we're not saying that they control big media. or have their tentacles in big media.
Yeah, we're not going to say that, but you know.
But big media says that it's the other way around. That they're referred to as what are the non-believers? What are the Muslims refer to you?
Infidels or
yeah. Yes. So big media says that, you know, the Hamas groups are unaliving them and are hell-bent, says they claim it's in their Quran or something. I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody in the chat got some ideas on this? I mean, it's like you never agree with the term rat. You know, I used to say Shah Nagasaki, Shah Vietnam, because that's what it literally felt like.
Yeah.
Man, you hear the ambulances and police sirens going on all night and the gunshots. You know.
Look like Mark Daniels said something in the chat. I can't quite.
I would say, he said, I would say the people who are responsible for the bloodshed are feared by those who live there. The good people are afraid to resist and afraid to trust those who may help. Facts. Facts. And if there are good people, say, outside of Hamas, if we're going to say Hamas isn't good people, maybe he means innocent people, you know, citizens who aren't involved. Yeah, when they do get involved, they get deleted.
In that area, supposedly, is it at 50% children? And your life expectancy, if you're living in that strip, is 30 or something. They're like, that's why there's so many young people there.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know that. 30?
Yes.
That's got to be the lowest in the earth.
It might be a little higher than that, but it's very low.
Well, they cut off their electricity, their water, access to food.
Yeah, and for long periods of time, like it's like a open air. They say it's an open air prison type of concentration camp.
Yeah,
is what they're calling it. I don't know what it is for certain, but they can't go through Egypt. They can't go out through Israel. They're kind of trapped there.
Yeah, but what they're claiming is, let's just say if there's some guys from the next community or the next block, and they'll pop out, unload, and then go back on the block and be around kids, hang out at the school, they hang out at the playground. They, you know what I mean? They literally sit in the middle of the school where the kids are playing, and that's what they're saying that Hamas is doing. And I mean, all right, so now I gave you that thought experiment. You know, God forbid they came over there and popped out and killed your loved one. Me personally, I couldn't shoot with those kids around.
Yeah, it's you know, they don't see them as children. That's one thing I can see and say for sure. They see them as subhuman, and they can do whatever they want to those children.
Yeah. I mean, literally, Self. It's like saying you're out, and then ran in the house, and you know there's a house full of 8, 9 kids, young ones. You know it, but that's their trap, and you spin it anyway. That's and they literally get on the TV and say that that's their approach.
Yeah, we're gonna spin, and they attacked us. We're killing all of them.
But God forbid Pookie or Ray Ray get a straight bullet off and kills one of the kids. We're not saying big media, you know.
You know how big media goes.
But both situations involve groups that have historical, ideological, and territorial, which you mentioned. Let's get into we mentioned historical earlier, generations, lineage, ideological. Ideological. We were talking about the mentorship, with these gangs. There used to be a time where you had to know your literature. They taught you something: knowledge, wisdom, understanding, justice, peace. I'm just throwing out things from anybody out there. The American way. But there's some structure. But there was an ideology being programmed into the kids about maybe the hate. These guys said, don't go in that neighborhood. You learn that, don't go over there. We don't fuck with them. You know what I mean? Indoctrination.
Not safe. Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't safe.
It's a lot of indoctrination in every neighborhood and every area, probably around the world. You got to be accustomed and move kind of how the people in your area move, or you get removed.
Yeah. And Hummus was founded in 1987 as an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood. Of course, you had the GDs and the BDs. They had that ideological split,
Yeah.
But Mark, go ahead. Mark brought up a great point, though, about the fear in the communities.
Because, there's no telling who's doing what, because
there isn't. And all the snitching.
Man, it's such a ball of crap that I'm not sure who did what. That's all I do know is that one side is bombing the hell out and crushing the other side.
Well, we did not we, but the U.S. did the same thing. We're not going to say after 9/11 was a false flag. We're not saying that algorithm. You know what I'm saying? But the U.S. did that too. Bombed the crap out of.
That's the motto, MO for in the United States is behind all this too. They're cheering for Zionists. Everybody's asking for peace, and they're like,
how long do you think it's going to be before it starts spilling into American streets? Because they're literally like Crips and Bloods. They're like folks and brothers with this back and forth hatred. And then when you talk to them, but they're killing us and they're killing us. And hey, when I talk to the guys, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Yeah, but this goes all the way back to thousands of years. Well, we could fast forward 2,000 years in the city of Chicago, and there's nothing to be said that Pookie and Ray Ray wouldn't have stopped the shenanigans.
I'm just saying this land is like this. It was like this when Usabo, so-called, got here.
Killing
from Hispaniola. Yeah, the Indians were killing each other and battling, and then he got them to chill out a little bit. Then next thing you know, they built a fort right there downtown out there.
He was pink, wasn't he?
Who?
Dusable.
He was French, supposedly French, and he's from Hispaniola.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think I heard something about that stuff. Now, I would say, let's talk about in Shy, and this is something we didn't necessarily have to deal with, but we've discussed it. There's some stuff driven by social media out there, which, explains their platform, for, first of all, for growing and recruitment, but for interpersonal beefs, provokes more aggressive and retaliation due to public humiliation and things of this nature.
Yeah, that's a factor.
Yeah. So you got that. And likewise, in Gaza, their crisis is affected by, regional and international actors such as Egypt, Qatar. So, outside influences. We watched it on the internet. Oh man, he said he was smoking Pookie, and he said he was smoking Ray Ray, and and you got all these fans, you know what I mean, gassing everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to say 12 participates in gassing, stirring things up in the community.
Yeah, well, we won't say that, but that's what goes on. But we're not saying that.
In my opinion.
Yeah. But in my opinion, it's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any scientific evidence.
Science?
In the back room or anything, but I got memories in the corners of my mind. I got some 12 Gestapo memories and the way they are. Can I prove it? Yeah. What is proof, Self? What is proof?
There's something agreed upon.
Yeah, proof is what the Gestapo says proof is. At the end of the day. The 13 families. So there's outside influences. Third thing I want to unpack, the devastation, the impacts on lives of innocent people, the communities who are caught in the crossfire and live under siege. Many of us, the thing is, man, you got to get up out of there. You know what I mean? Well, in Hamas, they can't get up out of there. Self said it's an enclosed, prison, so to speak. They can't just move to the suburbs. It's a big fence around.
They can't just leave the area.
No. And if they get labeled a T,
killed on the spot.
The drones are going to blow their whole family up, whether you're with them or not.
Yeah, I mean, on the spot, on site.
They said they drone funerals. So. Oh, there's Siri. There's Siri.
You listening, Siri, huh? Huh? Cut it out, Siri. Mind your business. Siri's like anything in talking range is.
Yeah, we went over the limit. Because she always pops on and starts ear hustling. Big ups to that. Yeah. She's always listening, they say.
Always.
Yeah, so you've got the innocent people on both sides. Brother Daniels brought it up. It's a climate of fear, insecurity for many residents who, have to deal with the shootings, the killings, the robberies. And that's the thing they've been getting into more lately, those robberies. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
How can a community support you whatsoever out there? And you're going to be doing robberies.
Yeah. Carjacking and robbing.
Robbing the people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. That's for sure.
Because one thing Hamas may or may not be doing, because according to some of those people, they're feeding them, they're getting them medicines, all the stuff that's been cut off, because they've been sanctioned over there.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, they can't get
13
anything.
families.
They can't get anything.
Nothing.
I don't even know if it's the 13 families. These 13th family that the Ashkenazi said don't have any other blood relation to the other families. 14th family. I don't know. What do we call them? I don't know.
Intimidation. I don't know. Yeah. It's usually not much intimidation going on. But yeah, you get caught slipping, you get robbed and
Right.
9 times out of 10, the person who robbed you is a gang member. 9 times out of 10.
I would, yeah.
I'm not saying he's robbing you on behalf of the gang or
right. Any of that, or that's gang, protocol, or
right.
they saying go out
or
there
that
and
they
rob.
say, go rob him. Right. Right.
We're not saying that.
But yeah.
Yet and still.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about Hamas robbing the people. Haven't heard that one.
No.
I'm sure big media will be on that soon. It won't they? Spin on that.
I wonder if they're taking from the Zionists and giving to the Robin Hoodish.
Yeah.
So are they stealing from the other side?
Yeah.
Makes me wonder.
Yeah. So as we've said, those people are enduring bombardment, displacement, hunger, disease, and trauma on a daily basis. And I would say in certain communities in Chicago, you're enduring bombardment, displacement, hunger, disease, and trauma on a daily basis. Yeah.
I'd have to say that's factual. You can say to a certain degree that certain people are in no fence regions in Chicago, like they can't move about outside their neighborhood. Some gang members, because of their activity.
Yeah, I think they said Yummy had never been downtown. Rest his soul.
Yeah, I'm sure of that.
That's amazing. It's mind-boggling how that would restrict your mind. Unless you're reading, you know what I mean? You had access to a bunch of books. If you're just in this certain, it's like a prison.
Yeah.
And that's all you see. It's, panhandling, drug dealing, prostitution.
Your neighborhood, you never go outside of it. So,
wow.
That open air prison. And that's what some of the areas are. They got neighborhoods, called this and that. And some of those people don't ever leave it. It's amazing, even to this day.
They'll leave it when they're going to spend.
Yeah, but they still never really leave the area, though.
Yeah.
The spending is next block over, a few blocks down. They never,
Yeah, shooting at their cousins, which brings me to the next thing. Cousins killing cousins.
Might move from neighborhood, but it's still going to be in Inglewood, per se. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same community.
Yeah.
But cousins killing cousins. That happens,
and don't even know it. You don't find out afterwards.
Some of them know it. In this drill culture, a lot of them know it. That's their cousin, and their cousin is their op. And so, same thing, they say that the Aganazis are cousins with the P's, with the Hamas. According to the Bible, those people are cousins. So there's a similarity there. Then
well, I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's something you're not going to say.
The Hebrews are, but
he's about to go Kyrie Irving. They're about to take his contract and his endorsements.
I'm just saying, the Hebrews.
And you wonder why you ain't got your check, huh?
And because I'm gonna say it. I gotta say it. Somebody's got to say it.
Well, silence is violence.
Those people aren't blood related, so they can't be cousins.
If you see something, say something.
So, yeah.
The major thing. Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
No, the Hebrews, yes. And those people, yes, they're supposed to be cousins. But them people they're no blood relation.
Right. Alrighty. In his opinion. Now.
In my humble opinion.
Now, What you can see here, it's like a wrecking ball, tearing up a city, but it's more of a pendulum. If you can see those things up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say the pendulum of violence and hate. You know how that stuff that's going on is embedded, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that part is very similar to the gang culture because, it's too much has been done.
Too much blood has been spilled. Talk
They
your
can't-
ass off about peace.
We can't even see past it. Type of situation.
It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It's a nuclear reaction, a chain reaction. How do you stop a nuclear reaction? You smother it. You let it burn out. You can't.
Yeah.
Everybody would have to kill everybody, and that's one thing.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, because they've had several peace conferences over there in the Middle East to the point where you're like, yeah, whatever, blow it out your ass. Same thing and they make these deals and these treaties. Same thing in the city of Chicago. Deals and peace treaties have been made.
Last for a short time, not long enough.
But there's always somebody with that hatred in them.
Yeah. I'll rekindle that.
You ain't gonna stop me. They talking to the chief. You know what I mean? They killed my baby cousin. You know what I'm saying? They bombed my,
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? They killed my daddy, like my brother. Like what are you gonna do? But that's
difficult thing. That's for
yeah.
sure.
So before we get into solutions, that's yes, a difficult thing. That's it's quandary. I guess we'd have to look back at how those other communities snuffed it out. I mean, they didn't snuff it out. It's still there.
Yeah.
But
it's rough. That's for sure.
People ain't riding up and down, the street shooting at each other anymore.
As much.
Yeah. If it does happen, I'm sure they got a pookie they can arrest for it.
In Chicago, they just let it go on. Told you less than 20% solving murders.
Greed. Now this is interesting. Greed plays a part in this whole thing.
Very, very unfortunate.
Yeah. It's greed mixed with a little arrogance. Yeah. No knowledge of self where the humility comes in. But when I say greed, even over there in the Middle East, at the end of the day, you always got to follow the money.
Yep.
What Pookie and Ray Ray are doing on the street level, what the young T is doing over there, flying his training himself to fly a hand glider over the fence, allegedly, and do this and that. What they're doing has nothing to do with people at the top and with their motivations.
So that beat one of the best security systems on the planet. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
Was hang glide.
Yeah, that was it. And drive like a van or a tank into the fence. Yeah, that's all they had to do.
Damn, hello.
Yeah.
Where am I here? Who am I here?
That's all they had to do.
What timeline is this?
And so now it brings us to hate.
Oh, well.
You remember I used to be with the guys and then I'd be talking to them and man, those guys over there are cool. I hate those guys. And I'd be with the other guys like, man, those guys, I'm telling y'all, man, we all hoop together. We smoke the same shit. You know what I mean? We sleeping with the same females, I hate them. I'm like, wow. Hate. So what I'm saying is that same hate We talked about Hamas raising and the P people raising their kids. You don't even have to raise your kids a certain way when they see a bomb hit kill their family.
Told where it's coming from.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You don't. But the hatred, it's so much blood has been shed that there's that hate. And hate makes you not love yourself. What I'm saying is you'll put love of self to the side for hate. I'll shoot this person in front of everybody in broad daylight at risk of going to jail or being killed, going to jail forever and ever and ever and ever, for the rest of my time in this existence.
Or because strap a
hate.
bomb.
Yes.
To yourself.
Yes.
Go and blow yourself up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
not love.
No, it's definitely not self-love. That's hate. Yeah.
But you're doing it out of the love for the people. That's
not love. It's fake love. I mean, if you're doing hateful acts.
Well, I mean, if somebody killed your whole family, and the only way you can get to them is to strap about. Your life is probably ruined anyway, and killed your whole family, right? Psychologically. I'm not saying you can't fight through that, and this is where we're going to get into solutions. But man, if I love my family, I got to do what I got to do, man. That's love. It can't just be hate. If I'm on the yard and somebody does something to my ship,
hate is kind of misguided love.
I'm not just motivated to go defend my ship out of hate for the person that did something to my ship. It's out of love for my ship that makes me then go find that person.
I hear you, but hate is a misguided form of love.
Mm-hmm. You're saying it. Yep. Yin and yang. They're. You know what it is, Self? You just gave it to me. It's spooky action at a distance. Love and hate. It is. It is, Self. It's the wave theory, right? Hate and love can be a wave, and then when somebody observes it, it depends on your perspective of whether you call that hate or love. Wow. That's heavy. All right. What are some differences, bro, as we wrap up?
It's not as overt here as it is there. It's
localized.
Yeah, it's not heavily artillerized one side versus the other as far as like
the bombing and
and they not riding down on them with machine guns every day, everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, there's food deserts, but that's a
you
different
can get
level.
Food. Yes,
yeah.
You can still order Uber Eats or Grubhub.
Yeah, or get you some spam and whatever. And it's not the whole city of Chicago. It's localized into certain pockets and neighborhoods and communities. As opposed to in Gaza, that whole, if you're not in Israel, you in it.
Yeah. Well, if you're not in occupied Gaza.
Now, do you agree with this? The Gaza crisis, this should have been my poll question. The Gaza crisis is more intense and sustained than the Chicago violence? Maybe with the bombing now, you have to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and the drones going over the last 10 years, bombing them.
and shutting off their routes to get supplies and their
Yeah.
water and electricity. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all going to be,
Yeah.
they've been doing that for quite some time.
Yeah, I agree. But the sustained part of that, I don't agree. I think the Chicago beefs are just as sustained and entrenched. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those guys, for instance, on Old Block, don't have to have been bombed by the guys from 63rd to be in the trenches.
But this issue definitely over there has been since 48 when they carved this land out of somebody else's land. I mean,
there you go. There you go. And I'm glad you mentioned it. As we get into solutions, I'm not going to get there yet, but I'm glad you mentioned it. Now, both situations have different levels of recognition and responses from the authorities and the public. Gang violence in Chicago is often overlooked or ignored by 12 in the media, which is what Self Love's been saying, while the Gaza one is more visible and attracts more attention and action from the government and the international community. Well, we're not saying that the people who stole the land are controlling the media. We're not saying that.
No, we're definitely not gonna say that. But the Zionists do run the media, though.
And they did steal the land, in my opinion. Now, gang violence in Chicago is also more stigmatized and blamed on the individual or community factors, while the Gaza one is more politicized and framed as a national global issue. And that's the secret. If you gave the most uniforms, y'all put on these uniforms, and you gave the folks, uniforms, and you drew a border in the middle of the city, and you said, oh, everybody under the 5, go to the side, north side. Okay, south side. Everybody under the 6, go to the north side. And divide it. What's that dividing line? Is it Madison? Is it state? Madison?
State and Madison. Well, that's east and
so
west.
State, east and west,
Madison.
so it's Madison. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's your border, that's your Gaza Strip right there. You know what I mean? And that's, you know what I mean? That's basically, yeah, well, let me see. Both situations. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's similar like that, not strictly those parameters, but it's almost like that from these neighborhoods, from different blocks to block. There's a border that's often crossed by opposition, and problems occur. And it's really because they all live there.
Yeah. Oftentimes they grew up together, same schools, hooped and played baseball against each other. That's just amazing how I hear you. That's stole the land. Did they steal it or was it annexed? Because that's the word they told me at Drop Dead Gorgeous William H. Ray School. They said that Israel annexed the land.
Annex is a fancy word for stole. That's what it means. I mean, you got to look at, read it.
I'm sure I was sitting there around all those Jewish kids. They did what? They annexed it.
Yeah. It's like the city annexed all these flowing neighborhoods and made them part of Chicago.
Yeah. And now I get home and try to annex, Big Warren's dessert. You know what I mean? And he knocks me out.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm annexing it. Come on, guy.
And then I call him. And then I call him a terrorist. So
it's all fair.
Go tell my parents he's a terrorist. He attacked me.
I discovered it, your dessert, and then I annexed it.
Yeah. That's
okay,
right.
what's
the problem? You don't deserve this dessert. You're not the chosen. You're not the chosen son. I'm the chosen son. You know what I mean?
That's so pathetic, bro.
I mean, that's basically,
and it's pathetic when
and
you say it out of your mouth and when they do it.
No, and you said a brilliant point. You said that those people over there in the so-called Middle East are both fighting over land that's not even what?
Theirs.
What does Pookie and Ray Ray do?
Fight over land that's not theirs.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. So there's another similarity.
Yeah, that is a similarity. That's fact.
You know what I mean? And now let's see. Both situations have different prospects and challenges for resolution, which we're going to get into. Gang violence in Chirac is more difficult to address because it involves a multitude of factors, actors, and interests that are hard to identify, which Self even said, we said that, and influence. The Gaza crisis is more feasible to resolve because it involves a clear set of parties, demands, and mediators that can negotiate and implement a peace agreement. Obama wanted the two-state solution.
Yeah, I mean, why is that not reasonable?
Well, you remember what big media is not mentioning. You remember they went over there and took some more of that land? That's
what they've been doing the whole time. That's why it's an occupied area. And everybody's telling them to get out of the occupied area and go back within your borders, and they just steady expanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steady expanding. That's how them people got trapped in that area that they're in. Because they kept taking more and more area.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were told that this was going to happen. The Muslim community told them that if you do that, you're going to mess up all the stability you got over here. That's what they said.
They've planned to get all that land since the day they stepped foot there.
Of course. It was just a matter of time, the foot in the door method.
Yeah.
Hey, can I stay over your house a couple days, just till I get back on my feet? Hey,
get out of here. Get out of here. We annexing this. See how that worked?
Yeah. Well, they were rewarded after the tragedies of the Holocaust, I think. They decided to give them the land, like the way they decided to give our people, Mississippi and Alabama after we were chattel slaves.
We don't have that. And we
didn't get they didn't annex anything
not
for us.
No, not at all.
The UN didn't sit down and come up
the people that was living there got defeated in a battle, and they didn't agree to just give up their control of their land and all of that.
They should have gave them Germany. Go ahead. Man, make it make sense.
It don't make sense, and it can't. Because, the Zionists are having their way. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah. All right. So, touching on solutions. The pendulum self. That's the key. Stopping that chain reaction. You pour water on it?
Not sure how to solve that. That's gonna have to be some diplomatic back and forth, and it's going to have to be some concessions given by a group that's not willing to give any concessions. They're not even trying to give back the occupied territory.
Well, here's a thought. Not, how the African proverb says, the child that is not embraced by the community or the village will burn it down.
Yes.
We talked about the gangs being mentors. We talked about how Hamas recruits. It's not really recruiting. These kids and young people are like, man, sign me up. I'm not going to live like this.
Yeah.
Right.
We witness what goes on.
Right. They ride or die. So, I mean, I would say we have to, get more humanitarian efforts within the community. The same thing we can do for, the humanitarian efforts for the immigrants that come here from other nations, meaning food, clothing, shelter, the things the Black Panther Party is trying to do.
Yeah.
More activities. And I don't mean boys club, these indoctrination centers, the YMCA, but I mean more activities and because the idle mind is the devil's playpen. And I'm specifically talking Chicago, more activities for the youth where they can be around mentors who are running the programs, who are paid not handsomely, but fairly, right?
Let's bring back the vocations. It's, teach them how to be electricians and plumbers and, things they can go.
But you mean use another tool besides that tool?
Yes. And their brain. Use their mind as a tool as well, instead of it just being indoctrinated into some madness.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on within the household that makes some of this difficult. The foster system, the trauma. You know what I mean? In other words, that trauma that can create an Illuminus or a Hamas or a member. I'm not talking about your social member, right, Self? Like the social club. You got the social member with the guys. They're making a little money, how they do. Shit happens, they're there for you. I'm talking about the in it to win it, the wild one, the live wire. Some of those guys have mental situations going on. So mental health would have to be some consideration here, along with those programs.
Well, evaluation. Someone has to evaluate.
Yes.
And
oh my God.
The mentors have to be a part of that.
Yes.
They have to be like, steer these people in the right direction. This kid's a hothead, and might see some things that are irrational. And
give them some outlets for it. Boxing rings.
Yes.
Make that nice, huh? So
yes.
You can fight this guy from that neighborhood. The whole neighborhood sits out there and comes and watch it. Wouldn't that be great stuff as some entertainment? My son's gonna kick your son's ass.
Make them train and get some discipline about it.
So it could be safe.
Not just get in there and
get hurt.
Teach them some things first, and how to use them things out there. These things, not pow pow things, not the pow pow.
Yeah.
You can come back from these most of the time. The pow pow, and you don't most of the time. So,
yes, reparations would be nice. I tell you, reparations would be a nice start.
Yeah, that could solve a lot of the issues that are happening.
Oh, it sure could. Because we can get around those red lines with that cash. Start getting
out of these areas,
or rebuild these areas. Correct. And of course, you got Saturday, knowledge of self schools online. Now, people say, well, the kids don't have access to that. All right. Yeah, they do. They're all over the internet, TikTok.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, see babies now. The phone is the babysitter.
Yeah.
So you go out somewhere, you work and got them at work. They just sit over there and the phone babysits them, and while you work and such. And at home, the TV's the babysitter. So
Yeah,
they can watch Saturday School.
Knowledge of self. Where they can get deprogrammed from these lies, from the indoctrination centers, and the TV.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, these are simple solutions, but I mean, you can't. You can do whatever you want, but I'd say, so if I dig into it right around the age of 9, if you're 9 and below, you're going to come through the system. If you're above 9, you're on your own. But until you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong.
Levels to the situation. I mean, if you're in theta, that's a whole different situation. We got to treat you a different way if you're not in theta. But
Correct.
Still have to have some sort of system designed for you. It's just not the same one for those in theta.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I said start at 9 is have it as a high cutoff, like if you're starting today, maybe start at 11, because they can still be shape and molded. And but I'm saying after you implement these programs, they can be older than that to participate, but they would have been coming through the program from an earlier age, because we won't be able to save them if they're already out there. I'm just, it's we can, but it's just a lot of energy. That's what I'm trying to say. We already spent energy trying to save them, right? And I always felt this way as a kid, like, man, why isn't there somebody here, to bump, guys like me up, or other guys who haven't jumped off the porch yet.
Yeah. I think we still got to have something for them, but it's definitely not going to be the same things for those that didn't jump off the porch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
well, here's my theory on this. They're going to kill each other off, and they're going to eventually grow older. And like most do, as they grow older, they stop doing all of that, or they're in jail or they're dead. That's what I'm saying. The pendulum is already going. You ain't going to stop that pendulum. That's what I'm saying. We can't spend the people who are spending energy, let them spend that energy. We start and get them before they got recruited, right? You know what I'm saying? And teach them that knowledge of self, make sure they got, food and humanitarian needs and medications and all in the community. And we tell the current Pookie and Ray Rays, hey, look, we keeping our head down. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all do y'all, but leave them alone. But
yeah.
I still got to have something in place for those, because some of them
are redeemable.
Yes.
All of them are redeemable.
But some of them will choose redemption at some point. And we need to have something in place.
Well, that would have to be in place in the detention centers. We'd have to get involved with some sort of nonprofit that can go into the county and go into, you know what I mean? The rehabilitation you're talking about.
Yeah, some of it can happen before they can see something while they're outside and make a different choice.
Yeah.
We have to have an outlet for them.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I got you. I'm not in a disagreement on that.
No,
it's
not.
just,
We're just talking about what,
that pendulum's moving. If you're already involved in that pendulum, after we sit down and talk to you, man, they've been killing it, All right, we got you, young man. If you need some food, come by, we got you. What'd you say?
Said, I'm looking at Wakil L's comment.
What if later we find out that the Anunnakis wanted the land because they found some minerals over there that is needed or will be in the future? Oh, yeah, it's probably, you know how much oil is sitting under there? That place ain't been drilled. And the minerals, too, that they make computers out of and chips. Of course. I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised, personally, in my opinion. Here's my solution to the Israel problem. And Self, it works hand in hand. It's something you mentioned earlier, but I was already going to present this. It goes hand in hand with our situation in the big city. Hear me out. We said moments ago that we haven't, nobody gave us any land after our, Holocaust. Hear me out. Why not, by decree, pull all those people out of Israel right now who are there, pull them all out. Move them to New York, Chicago. You can give them a state in the United States. You can give them Mississippi, Alabama. Hear me out. Now you take your melanated people from the United States and you move us over there and you give us that land. Let me finish. Then guys like myself, we can go talk sensibly to hummus and sit down and eat some hummus. You want some hummus? No, I don't speak that shit. Find somebody who can speak English respectfully, And you sit down and you say, hey, listen, you can have all that land over there. You guys can interact with us. Just don't be blowing us up and shit. You know what I mean? You can live amongst us here in Israel. We don't care. Just don't be blowing us up and shit. Y'all know who we are, and we know who you are, imposters. Right? We're going to play a little charade, and live amongst you, and go from there. I tell you what, Self, the Olympics would be different. The NBA would expand internationally. We'd have the best football team. So now you fixed it with a two-state solution. Take the chosen people who are in America, give us that land over there in Israel, put us back home, pull those, I'm not gonna call them imposters, or posers. Pull them out, okay? Scatter them in the U.S. or wherever they want to go, because by decree, according to scripture, they're not supposed to have a land anyway because they've defiled their bums and defiled God's, will. But go ahead, Self. What do you say about that two-state solution? Obama never mentioned that.
Yeah, well, my family was here and is from here, so I don't want to give them, move them from that land to our land. Yeah, that part.
But man, I would be on the first thing smoking out of the United States. Israel's already built up, got nice property and land over there. You got the temple, man, would be over there, boy. They had black pea stone on the holy wall, boy. They'd be spray painting on it on the north wall, boy. Take them fences down. I'm just saying, Self. I'd be out of here in a heartbeat, man. I mean, seriously, man. If I can live in a place where all black people are pretty much, mixed in with some, you know what I mean? Oh, bro, I'd be so out of here, man. If by decree, and that'll stop it. I guarantee you, they won't be blowing us up. I feel that in my heart. Sit down, have some hummus. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm just not so sure how they feel about us. So there's that.
Well, you're sure how they feel about them.
Yeah, I know how they feel about them.
Listen, we're not going to cut you guys off. We're going to get you some humanitarian aid. We're going to be rebuilding your areas. You're welcome to live here amongst us. You understand what I'm saying?
Just get out of the occupied territories and let you have what you're supposed to have and all of that. Yeah, I get that part.
And we got an open border system between us and you. You guys are our cousins. Yeah. I don't know. I know that might be, just remember you heard it here first. You heard it here first.
No
What does the
doubt.
chat think about it? Let's hear from the chat.
I mean, it's a plausible plan. I just don't want to give them our land.
Well, everybody doesn't have to go. That's the thing about it. Everybody won't go.
No, they won't.
You know what I mean? You already got your black Hebrew Israelites. A lot of them over there already. I talked to the Nation of Islam, get them involved, and had them doing a lot of the politics. Brother, you got the bean pie? You want some hummus? You gotta stop all that killing, baby. Boy, I had the Muslims out there in Gaza Strip South wearing the bow ties, right with the bomb and stop, right over in them areas selling bean pies. We ain't gonna do shit else for you. But sell you this newspaper and these bean pies. Big ups to the Nation of Islam. I got enough problems. You know what I mean? Big ups. But no, we're wrapping up. I want to get to the poll question because we had a poll question posted on TATN. Here we go, Self. Chicago's notorious gang violence is, here are your options, not much different than beef in Middle East. Okay. Option number 2, will never stop. All right. Option number 3, rooted in lack of resources. Okay. Option number 4, ignorant. Option number 5, all of the above. You guys in the chat, you still have time to go to the community tab on the TATN page and calculate your votes now. So the results. All right, here we go, Self Love. It's interesting. Not much different than beef in Middle East got 17% of the votes. Interesting. 11% of the respondents said the gang violence will never stop. That's 11%. Now, 28% said it's rooted in lack of resources. Dr. King figured that out at some point. Hard to preach peace when somebody's belly is empty and they're walking around barefoot. Now, it's very ignorant. 17% of the respondents said Chicago's notorious gang violence is simply ignorant. And ignorant doesn't mean dumb, right? So,
lack of understanding,
lack of knowledge of self, lack of knowledge, ignorance. And then, of course, all of the above was 28%. So the highest votes were rooted in lack of resources and all of the above. What's your response here, Phil?
I'm going to say in lack of resources.
So you're going Dr. King on me?
Well, I'm going with that line. I'm not Dr. King or going Dr. King, but I think that's the basis.
I'm going all of the above. It's for damn sure ignorant. It's for damn sure rooted in the lack of resources. But we'll never stop. Yeah, that could be.
That's the one I don't. Yeah. That's the one I can't.
Yeah, I see where you got your wall up. And then not much different than beef in Middle East. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's damn. Yeah, I guess in that case I would have to go with what you went with. Rooted in lack of resources is the best answer. Yeah, I 100% concur. All right, so now you got any thing on this as we close it out there, Phil?
Just want to, say rest in peace to all the people who had nothing to do with any of this political, social experiment they're doing in the Middle East and the killings and all of that. And just want to send some energy their way for the people who are still there going through it.
I hear you, man. That was well said, and I'll ditto that because, again, even the people on both sides, man, like
that have nothing to do with nothing.
Correct. That don't necessarily feel this way or that way about, you know what I mean, or don't necessarily agree with what the government's doing and all of that. And yeah. So, we've reached the end of this topic. Smash that like button. And if you guys got any ideas or hypotheses about any solutions, we're all ears. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Self Luv Show. Stay tuned for more episodes where we'll be exploring more mysteries, myths, legends, conspiracies, and politics of the world. Until then, keep asking why. If you see something, say something. Do you have any stories or anecdotes related to gang violence? If you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to contact us in the comments, or you can call or text 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Roll free.
That's right. We'd love to hear your feedback and learn more about your thoughts, opinions, and concerns. Remember, ask not what culture can do for you, but what you can do for culture. As always, question everything and everyone. The Self Luv Show. This ain't Kansas. This ain't that, Dorothy. Peer down the rabbit hole. Do your own research out there. Use caution, because sometimes when you stare into that abyss, well, it stares right back at your black ass. Peace, love, honor, and respect. All right, so no need for me to answer the riddle because Brother Daniels, it's for carnival. It was for carnival. It was for calm down. You know what I mean? Get your panties all in a bunch. It'll be all right. Carnival's gonna go on without whatever this nonsense is. All right.
Let G's be in charge of some carnival.
Calm down. The carnival's gonna go on. Yeah, that's a great brother. All right.
Great.
Yeah, great brother. All right. All right, so you might like this topic if we don't have your guy on here. All right. And we got to get our days straight because we're going to be potentially moving the date for Sharuka, Israel. We want to get Sharuka in the building. But Black Health, Self, hot tubs and ice baths.
Okay.
We're going to cover hot tub touring and ice baths.
Ice baths. Oh, never been a fan.
Yeah, you're a hot tub Tory. You know what I mean? But I bet if you can be in a situation where you're jumping out that hot tub and then jump into that ice bath and then jump back into that hot tub and then jump into that ice bath and then jump back into that hot tub and then go home.
I'd be a lot healthier. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Shocks your systems.
Oh, you'd be shocked, all right.
Yeah, system shocks. It turns on your immune system. It turns on a bunch of stuff when you go to hot to cold, back to hot to cold.
That's right. Otherwise, your guy's going to be unpacking what?
He's an
artivist.
Yes, artivist.
Activist and an artist.
Yes.
Yeah, we had one of them on the show before.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be some good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Spoken word and otherwise artists.
Yeah. And make sure y'all don't be missing our pre-Bears game show on Sundays on Mouthpiece Included right here on TATN.
Man, I've missed the last couple of weeks and I've been disappointed.
Oh, yeah. It was the last two shows. It was great, too. And we got in and out in about an hour, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, because the game be up our bum. So,
yeah.
Yeah, the game's up my bum. All right, Bilbo Baggett,
Gonna get another chance.
Greatest American hero.
They was trying to write the movie already.
Well, yeah, it's already a movie, so.
Yeah, I mean,
the fact that he played it, won a game. That's where you end it. That's where you end the movie after that game. You know what I mean? At the end, the next game he played like shit, and next game and
then he was out of the league.
Yeah.
No, he looks pretty good. I mean, he looks competent backup. He does.
Yeah, might even be able to get a starting, but as far as taking Justin Fields' job, I don't know about that.
He shouldn't, but if he does, then it's something really wrong going on.
Hey, this is our hot new track because we kept getting copyrights. This one was written and produced by Brother Wordsmith, so big ups. For our Wordsmith's final words segment, no more copyright infringement for us, right? So
that's right. We got to make sure we got everything right. We got the 1,000 subscribers, so gotta make sure that we do everything like we're supposed to.
Facts. Let's see what's going on. Give it to me. Going on, so for some reason it stops. Then I gotta go back, pull it back up.
See if we can play it through iTunes and adjust the volume. Do that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm gonna end up doing that. Not now, but in future. It seemed like you updated it because this one started right at the beginning. The other one had some. It was blank at the beginning, like first 15 seconds wouldn't play.
Oh, that's crazy.
How's that volume?
Up a little bit. Check.
How's that?
That's gonna be fine. That's all right. We'll figure it out.
All right. That brings us to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang, and that's Wordsmith's final words. Out there, out there, out there.
Out the gate. I negate the Chirac moniker. It is a mistake. A misnomer. I don't care what they told you. We're here to show you the truth, and we are living proof. But we covered some things, and it's factual and actual. How the gang violence mirrors that in Gaza, even though they're not gangs. But we need to give everybody their flowers. So RIP to all the people that were unalived, especially the ones that had nothing to do with what happened inside of the political, religious, monstrous situation. The worst of the worst. They all should be hesitating because what they're doing is akin to Satan. Both groups act like that's not true. But when you look at the results, there's nothing else you can do but figure out what they've been doing is wrong. I don't know what's really happening, but it's messed up what's going on.
Gang.
In Chicago and Gaza. Gotta end the violence. Peace be with us all. Because everything else will cause us to fall. It's like
We dropping the ball. Worrying about what the refs call.
Psycho.
The referees are cheating. It's not fair. Sides don't level up. I swear. It's uneven. Throwing bricks at people that shooting missiles.
Nice lot.
Throwing rocks with people with weapons. Not understanding this from its conception.
Stones run it.
And they are calling each other terrorists. When I can't understand why they think this is fair. All this turmoil and despair.
Shabbat shalom.
It's got to come to an end in Gaza and Chicago. Peace amongst us. Words.
Peace in the Middle West. Peace in the Middle West. That was well done, good brother. Well done, as per usual. All right, y'all. Yeah, that was dope. And they can't cut. Well, we'll see. You know,
they better not.
Well, they you know, they like to move the goalposts. YouTube.
Well, I made it all, so I mean, what can they say? They better not.
I'll let you know if we get a ding.
We're gonna get our lawyer on that.
Go ahead and speak their ship language.
Yeah.
Maritime law.
Yeah. Talk that maritime stuff to them and leave me out of it.
Yeah.
Know how to wreck their case and end it. No, I do not understand. I do not consent. I do not understand. I don't know what you're talking about.
You find yourself in an insane institution for the mentally retarded.
Nope. I'm like, no, I'm not mentally retarded. I know what I know, but inside of here, these words mean something different. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think you can say retarded on YouTube, but man, know thyself. This is by Kai Zodiac.
Dope MC.
Big ups, Kai.
Don't get no copyrights on him.
No, he cool.
Yeah, because we playing his music.
Latin. Means know thyself.
Yeah, that's what that means, huh, self? Know thyself.
Yes, sir.
Bullets. A boomerang.
Stand your ground.
Murder. That's suicide.
Yeah, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
You see something? Say something.
We're getting a call, but it's at the end of the show. Damn, it's too late. Greed plus ego over fear. That's a slave.
Yeah, because charity plus humility times love is freedom.
Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
Fear is cap. It's an illusion.
Vibrate love.
And forgiveness is love's highest vibration.
So do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
Well, you know what we say at TATN, healthy people heal that people.
For sure, because hurt people gonna try to hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people. Free Larry who?
Free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison is slavery.
Be you walk atop water.
Yeah, man, just move mountains.
Mountain, bro?
Yeah.
How you supposed to do that?
Say all you need is the faith of a mustard seed. And we got way more than that.
Word?
Sure, you got that faith, that get right on out the way. As you know, it was much taller last week.
Mustard seed.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, you just know it. Through and through, balls to bone.
Still got them?
Got mine.
Shot time.